I wish to discuss how to prepare yourself to receive this miracle that is already yours. For receiving is an art, just as giving is an art. And most of us have been trained to believe that receiving requires effort, struggle, and worthiness, when in truth, receiving is simply a state of consciousness, a feeling and acceptance of what already is. All things whatsoever ye pray and ask for, believe that ye have received them, and ye shall have them. This statement from Mark 11:24 contains the entire secret of successful prayer. It is not about asking or beseeching some external power for what you desire. Rather, it is about assuming the feeling of already having what you desire. And when you assume this feeling, the miracle that seemed external to you begins to unfold in your world. Let me share with you a principle that has guided my understanding. Imagination creates reality. Your imagination is not a fantasy-making faculty designed to escape reality. No, your imagination is the very substance of reality, the creative power through which God operates in you as you. The eternal body of man is the imagination, and that is God himself, as Blake so beautifully expressed it. When I speak of a miracle coming your way, I am speaking of the natural unfoldment that occurs when you align your consciousness with your desire. For the state you occupy mentally and emotionally is the state you will occupy physically. This is law. This is how your world is shaped. And if you would receive your miracle, you must first learn to occupy the state of its fulfillment in your imagination. Many of you come to me and ask, how can I manifest this desire? How can I make this dream come true? And I say to you, you do not manifest your desire, you manifest what you are. Your world is a perfect reflection of your state of consciousness. Therefore, to change your world, you must change your concept of self. You must dare to assume that you are already the person you wish to be, living in the circumstances you wish to experience. The greatest miracle that can come your way is the discovery of your own divine nature, the realization that you are God in expression, that the creative power of the universe flows through you as naturally as breath. And with this realization comes the understanding that all things are possible to you, for all things are possible to God. Now let us explore the practical application of this principle. How do you prepare yourself to receive the miracle that is rightfully yours? First, you must clarify in your mind exactly what you desire. Many people live in a perpetual state of vague wishing, never crystallizing their desires into clear, definite form. But God, the creative power within you, can only work with definiteness. Therefore, know precisely what you want. Once you have clarified your desire, you must then assume the feeling of already having fulfilled that desire. This is the cardinal secret, my dear friends. This is the art of prayer. Prayer is not begging, prayer is thanksgiving. Prayer is the feeling of gratitude for already having received what you desire. When you pray in this manner, you are aligning yourself with the natural creative flow of the universe. I recall a lady who came to me in dire financial circumstances. She was facing eviction from her apartment and had exhausted all conventional resources. I advised her to assume just before sleep each night that she was falling asleep in a lovely home that belonged to her, feeling the security and peace that comes with such ownership. I told her to persist in this assumption, regardless of any contradictory evidence presented by her senses. Within 1 month, a distant relative whom she had not spoken to in many years unexpectedly passed away, leaving her beautiful home free and clear of any debt. This is the law in operation. She assumed a state of secure home ownership in her imagination, and that state externalized itself in her world. But let me caution you, this principle requires persistence. The habits of thought that have created your present circumstances will resist change. Your conscious assumption must be repeated, must be nurtured, must be persisted in until it takes root in the subconscious mind. And when it does take root, nothing in this world can prevent its manifestation. The miracle you seek is already completed in what I call the fourth dimensional self. In the dimension of consciousness, time is not linear as we experience it here. All states exist now, and the state you wish to occupy already exists in its completeness. Your task is not to create it, but to enter it through the portal of your imagination. Imagine, if you will, that your life is like a vast mansion with countless rooms. Each room represents a different state of consciousness, a different set of circumstances, a different expression of self. The miracle you seek is simply occupying a different room in the mansion of your being. And the key to that room is your assumption, your controlled imagination. Tonight, as you fall asleep, I urge you to imagine that you are experiencing the fulfillment of your heart's desire. Feel the joy, the relief, the satisfaction of having what you longed for. Do not concern yourself with the how or the when. Those details belong to God, to the creative wisdom of your deeper self. Your responsibility is simply to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. The Bible tells us faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Your faith, your controlled imagination, your assumption is the very substance that will clothe itself in the material facts of your experience. It is the evidence that precedes physical manifestation. I have tested this principle in countless ways in my own life and in the lives of those who have come to me for counsel. It never fails, it cannot fail, for it is law. Just as the law of gravity operates without regard to your beliefs or opinions about it, so too does the law of assumption operate with mathematical precision. Assume you have your desire, and if you persist in that assumption, it must materialize in your world. Now, some of you may be wondering, what if I have multiple desires? What if there are many miracles I wish to experience? The answer is simple: work on one desire at a time. Choose the desire that, if fulfilled, would bring you the greatest joy, and focus your creative attention on that. When that desire has been realized, move on to the next. The human imagination can be likened to a garden. The thoughts and assumptions you plant today become the facts of tomorrow's harvest. Plant with care, with deliberation, with confidence in the perfect law that governs all creation. I recall a man who desired to double his income. He was working in a field where such an increase seemed impossible, according to conventional wisdom. Yet he faithfully assumed that he was already earning twice his current salary. He would mentally revise his pay stubs, seeing the larger amount. He would feel the relief and security of having that additional income. Within 6 months, he was offered a position in a completely different industry, one he had never even considered, at exactly twice his previous salary. The miracle that awaits you may come in an unexpected form, through an unexpected channel. Do not limit God by insisting on a particular method of fulfillment. Focus only on the end, the state of fulfillment, and let the infinite wisdom of your deeper self determine the bridge of incidents that will lead to the manifestation of your desire. Remember, my dear friends, that creation is finished. All states exist now. I am the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. The state you wish to occupy already exists in its completeness. Your task is not to create it, but to claim it, to enter it through the power of your assumption. Tonight I challenge you to test this principle. Choose a desire that seems beyond your reach according to your present circumstances. It may be related to your health, your finances, your relationships, or any other aspect of your life. Clarify exactly what you want. Then, as you prepare for sleep, assume that you already have it. Feel the gratitude, the joy, the fulfillment of possession. Do this night after night and watch as the miracle unfolds in your world. The miracle is coming to you because you are coming to it. You are moving into the state where the desire is already fulfilled. And as you occupy that state faithfully in your imagination, the outer circumstances of your life must reshape themselves to reflect your inner conviction. There is a story I often share about a young woman who desired marriage with a specific man. This man had shown no romantic interest in her whatsoever. In fact, he was dating another woman and had expressed his intention to marry her. The young woman came to me in desperation, asking if there was anything to be done. I instructed her to assume each night as she fell asleep that she was lying beside this man as his wife. I told her to feel his presence, to feel the wedding ring on her finger, to hear him call her by her married name. She did this faithfully for several weeks. One day, the man called her unexpectedly. His relationship with the other woman had ended abruptly, and he found himself thinking of her. They began dating, and within 6 months they were married. The outer circumstances rearrange themselves to conform to her inner assumption. This is not manipulation, my friends. This is not about controlling others or forcing events. It is about entering the state where your desire is fulfilled and allowing the wisdom of your deeper self to bring about the conditions necessary for its manifestation. The great mystic Meister Eckhart said, God is I am. This divine presence, this creative power, is your very being. When you say I am, you are invoking the name of God. And whatever you attach to that divine name, whether positive or negative, you are decreeing for yourself. Be careful then of what you claim with the words I am. For I am is the beginning of creation. I am wealthy. I am healthy. I am loved. These are divine decrees that must externalize themselves in your experience if you persist in them. Conversely, I am poor, I am sick, I am unlucky. These two are decrees that will manifest in your world. The power does not lie in the condition, but in the I am that precedes it. The miracle that is coming your way is already in existence, waiting for your recognition. It exists in the dimension of consciousness, in what I call the fourth dimension. From this dimension, all things flow into the three-dimensional world of our physical experience. To enter this fourth dimension, you must silence the senses. You must temporarily shut out the evidence of the three-dimensional world and enter the chamber of your imagination. There, in that quiet place, you can assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled. And that feeling persisted in will harden into fact in your three-dimensional experience. Many of us have been taught that seeing is believing. But I say to you, believing is seeing. What you believe in your heart, what you faithfully assume to be true, will ultimately be seen in your world. This is the true meaning of faith. Faith is not hoping or wishing. Faith is the conviction of the reality of the unseen. The miracle you seek may seem distant or even impossible according to your present circumstances. But I assure you it is nearer than your breath, closer than your heartbeat. It exists now in the realm of consciousness, and through your faithful assumption, it will be drawn into your physical experience. I want to share with you a practical technique that has helped many realize their desired miracles. I call it revision. Each night before you sleep, review the events of your day. If any event was less than perfect, if there was conflict, disappointment, or failure, revise it in your imagination. See it unfolding differently, in a way that aligns with your desires. For instance, if you had a disagreement with a colleague, revise the scene. Imagine the conversation proceeding harmoniously with mutual understanding and respect. Feel the satisfaction of this harmonious exchange. This is not mere fantasy. This is the actual reshaping of your world. The Bible tells us the kingdom of God is within you. This kingdom is the realm of imagination, the fourth dimension, from which all creation flows. It is the realm of the miraculous where all things are possible. And it is within you, accessible through your controlled imagination. The miracle that is coming your way is not dependent on external conditions or other people's actions. It is dependent solely on your state of consciousness. Change your concept of self and you change your world. For the world is yourself pushed out. I recall a gentleman who desired a promotion at work. He had been passed over several times, and according to office politics, he was not next in line for advancement. I advised him to assume each night before sleep that he had already received the promotion. I told him to hear the congratulations of his colleagues, to feel the satisfaction of the increased responsibility and compensation. Within 2 weeks, the person who held the position he desired unexpectedly resigned to pursue another opportunity. Despite the established protocols, he was offered the position. The outer circumstances rearranged themselves to conform to his inner assumption. This principle applies to every aspect of your life, your health, your relationships, your financial situation, your professional status. Whatever you desire to experience, assume that you are already experiencing it. Feel the reality of its fulfillment. Persist in this assumption, and it must manifest in your world. Some may call this magical thinking, but I assure you, it is the most practical, scientific approach to deliberate creation. For your assumptions persisted in become your beliefs. Your beliefs shape your perceptions. Your perceptions influence your actions. And your actions determine your results. The sequence begins with your assumption, the seed from which your miracle grows. Plant that seed in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind through the feeling of your wish fulfilled, and it will grow into the manifest fact of your experience. The miracle you are preparing to receive is not something that will happen to you. It is something that will happen in you. It is a shift in consciousness, a new self-concept, a new definition of reality. And from that inner shift, all outer conditions must change. I want to emphasize again the importance of feeling in this process. It is not enough to intellectually affirm your desire. You must feel it, emotionally experience it as real. For feeling is the language of the subconscious mind, and it is through the subconscious that your assumptions are realized. When you lie down to sleep tonight, enter into the feeling of your wish fulfilled. What would it feel like if your desire were already realized? Would you feel relief, joy, security, peace? Whatever the feeling would be, immerse yourself in it as you drift off to sleep. This plants your assumption deep in the subconscious, where it will begin to grow into objective fact. The sleep state is particularly effective for this practice because in sleep the conscious rational mind is temporarily suspended. The barriers of disbelief and doubt are lowered, allowing your assumption to take root more deeply in the subconscious. I have observed that many people sabotage their miracles through conflicting assumptions. They assume the fulfillment of their desire when they engage in conscious prayer or visualization, but then assume its absence or impossibility in their daily thinking and conversation. Remember, what you assume throughout the day is also creative. Be vigilant in maintaining the assumption of your wish fulfilled in all your thinking. The biblical story of the prodigal son beautifully illustrates the principle I am sharing with you tonight. The son, having squandered his inheritance, decides to return home. But notice what the father says when he sees his son approaching. This my son was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found. The father does not say, my son will be alive, he will be found. He speaks in the present tense, declaring the completed reality. This is the language of successful prayer, the language of miraculous manifestation. Speak of your desires already fulfilled, already realized, already accomplished. The miracle you seek is already finished in the mind of God in your own wonderful human imagination. Your task is to align your conscious thinking with this completed reality, to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, to live from the end. I am often asked, how long will it take for my desire to manifest? The answer depends on the intensity of your assumption and the naturalness with which you can feel your wish fulfilled. For some, manifestation is instantaneous. For others, it may take weeks or months. But this I can assure you. If you persist in your assumption, manifestation is certain. The Bible promises, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. Your miracle is on its way to you at this very moment, moving toward you through a series of events, a bridge of incidents, orchestrated by the infinite wisdom of your deeper self. Do not be concerned with the how. Do not try to manipulate external circumstances or control other people's actions. Focus solely on maintaining the feeling of your wish fulfilled, and let the creative power within you determine the path of least resistance to its manifestation. I would like to share with you a powerful practice that will help you receive your miracle. It is the practice of gratitude. Gratitude is the feeling that accompanies the fulfillment of desire. When your desire is realized, you naturally feel grateful. By deliberately cultivating gratitude now before the physical manifestation, you are affirming that your desire is already fulfilled in consciousness. Each day, take time to give thanks for the fulfillment of your desire. Feel the gratitude deep in your heart. Let it permeate your being. This attitude of thanksgiving is a powerful magnetic force that draws your good to you. Remember, the kingdom of heaven is like a mustard seed, which is the smallest of all seeds. But when it grows, it becomes a tree large enough for birds to nest in its branches. Your assumption, your feeling of the wish fulfilled may seem small and insignificant compared to the vastness of your external reality. But if you nurture it with faith and persistence, it will grow into a manifest fact large enough to transform your entire life. The miracle that is coming your way is already within you, waiting for your recognition. It is not something that must be created. It is something that must be accepted. And you accept it by assuming the feeling of its reality, by living from the end. I encourage you to test this principle in your own life. Start with something small, something you can easily accept as possible. As you gain confidence in the law of assumption, you can apply it to increasingly significant desires. But whether your desire seems small or great by human standards, the principle remains the same. Assume you have it, feel the reality of possession, and it must objectify itself in your world. The Bible tells us, with God, all things are possible. And since God is your own wonderful human imagination, this means that all things are possible to the one who believes, who assumes, who feels the reality of the wish fulfilled. Tonight, as you prepare to receive your miracle, I urge you to remember these words: be still and know that I am God. In the stillness of your own consciousness, in the quiet of your own heart, you will find the power to transform your world. For it is in this stillness that you can most effectively assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled. The outer world will present evidence contrary to your desire. It will bombard you with facts that seem to contradict the possibility of your miracle. But remember, facts are only the fruit of past assumptions. They have no power to determine your future unless you give them that power through your continued assumption. Choose instead to assume the reality of your wish fulfilled, regardless of appearances. This requires courage and persistence, but it is the path to the miraculous transformation of your world. I recall a woman who had been diagnosed with a chronic illness for which medical science offered no cure. She was told she would have to manage her symptoms for the rest of her life. But she refused to accept this verdict. Each night she would fall asleep feeling perfectly healthy and whole. She would imagine her doctor expressing amazement at her complete recovery. She persisted in this assumption for several months. At her next medical examination, her doctor was indeed amazed to find no trace of the disease. He ordered additional tests, all of which confirmed her perfect health. Medical science could not explain it, but she understood the principle at work. She had assumed a feeling of perfect health, and her body conformed to that assumption. This is the miracle that awaits each of you, the discovery of your own creative power, the realization that your assumptions shape your world. It is the greatest gift, the pearl of great price, the treasure hidden in the field of your own consciousness. As you go forward from this night, I urge you to watch your assumptions carefully. Be aware of what you are assuming in each moment of your day. Are your assumptions aligned with your desires, or are they perpetuating conditions you wish to change? Remember, your subconscious accepts as true whatever you feel to be true. If you feel poverty, you perpetuate poverty. If you feel wealth, you perpetuate wealth. If you feel sickness, you perpetuate sickness. If you feel health, you perpetuate health. The choice is yours in every moment. The miracle that is coming your way is already complete in consciousness. It exists now as a present fact in the fourth dimension. Your consistent assumption of its reality will bring it into your three-dimensional experience, your physical world. I want to emphasize once more the importance of feeling in this process. I am not speaking of mere intellectual acceptance or verbal affirmation. I am speaking of emotional involvement, of feeling the reality of your wish fulfilled. For it is through feeling that your assumption is transmitted to the subconscious, where it becomes the seed of manifestation. Tonight, identify the feeling that would be yours if your desire were already fulfilled. Would you feel relief, security, joy, love? Peace. Whatever that feeling is, immerse yourself in it. Let it permeate your being. Fall asleep bathed in that feeling. And you are planting the seed of your miracle in the fertile soil of the subconscious. The Bible tells us, according to your faith be it unto you. Faith is not mere hope or wishful thinking. Faith is the feeling of the reality of that which is not yet manifest to the senses. It is the conviction of the reality of the unseen. And this faith, this feeling conviction, is the substance that will clothe itself in the material fact of your experience. As we conclude our time together, I want to leave you with this thought. You are the operant power in your world. Your consciousness is the creative force from which all things flow. The miracle you seek is already within you, waiting for your recognition, waiting for your acceptance through the law of assumption. Go forth from this place with the confidence that your miracle is on its way to you. In fact, it is already yours in the reality of consciousness. Live from that assumption, feel the joy of its fulfillment, and watch as your outer world reshapes itself to reflect your inner conviction. Let us begin by understanding a fundamental truth. Your imagination is the God within you. It is not some fanciful faculty for daydreaming or escaping reality. No, your imagination is the very workshop wherein you forge the template of your life experiences. Everything you see in your world began as a mere thought, a seed planted in the fertile soil of your mind. And just as a tiny acorn contains within it the blueprint for a mighty oak tree, so too does your imagination hold the blueprint for the grandest vision of Yori. But how, you may ask, can mere imagination bring about tangible results in the physical world? The answer lies in the nature of reality itself. You see, the world of Caesar, as I often call it, the world of physical matter and apparent solidity, is but a shadow play, a reflection of a deeper, more fundamental reality. And that reality, my dear friends, is consciousness itself. Consciousness is the only reality. Everything else, every object, every circumstance, every event, is a manifestation of consciousness. And you, in your truest essence, are that pure consciousness, that awareness that precedes all form. You are not a mere mortal being, limited by the apparent constraints of time and space. You are the eternal I Am, the divine presence that speaks worlds into existence. Now, let this sink in for a moment. Feel the weight of this truth. You are not separate from the creative power of the universe. You are one with it. You are it. The same force that ignites stars and orchestrates the dance of galaxies is the very force that beats your heart and fires the synapses in your brain. And this force is directed by your assumptions, your beliefs, and most potently, by your imagination. So when I say you can achieve anything, I am not speaking of some external power granting your wishes. I am speaking of you, the real I Am presence within you, shaping the malleable substance of existence according to your imaginal acts. For make no mistake, every imaginal act is a creative act. There is no division between the world within and the world without. They are one and the same. Let me share with you a principle that once grasped will revolutionize your approach to life and achievement. It is the principle of the wish fulfilled. Most people in this world live in a state of wanting, of yearning, of striving towards their desires. But this very state of wanting perpetuates the experience of lack. For to want something is to declare its absence, and the universe, being the perfect mirror that it is, will continue to reflect back to you that state of wanting. Instead, I urge you to adopt the state of the wish fulfilled. Do not wish for your desire. Instead, assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Feel as you would feel if your desire were already a present fact. For in truth, in the realm of infinite possibilities, where all time is simultaneous, your desire is already fulfilled. Your task is not to make it happen, but to align your consciousness with that reality where it has already happened. This, my friends, is the art of revision. It is the power to rewrite not only your future, but your past and your present. For time, as you perceive it, is but an illusion, a construct of the human mind. In the eternal now, all possibilities exist simultaneously. By revising an event, by reimagining a circumstance, you are not changing what was, but rather, you are selecting a different version of reality from the infinite array of possibilities. Let me give you an example to illustrate this point. Suppose you have a desire for financial abundance, but your current reality seems to be one of lack and limitation. The conventional approach would be to work harder, to strive and struggle against your circumstances. But I tell you, this is not the way. Instead, assume the feeling of wealth and abundance. Go to sleep feeling the joy and relief of financial security. Immerse yourself in the emotions you would feel if your bank account were overflowing, if all your financial worries were a thing of the past. Do this with feeling, with conviction, and watch as the world rearranges itself to match your new assumption. Opportunities will appear as if by magic. Resources will flow to you in unexpected ways. For you see, you are not creating these opportunities and resources. They have always existed in the infinite field of possibilities. By assuming the state of the wish fulfilled, you are tuning your consciousness to the frequency where these possibilities become your experienced reality. Now, some of you may be thinking, but Neville, I've tried positive thinking before. I've attempted to visualize my goals, but nothing changed to this. I say, you have not yet fully grasped the power of your imagination. Mere positive thinking or casual visualization is not enough. You must enter fully into the state of the wish fulfilled. You must live from that state, breathe from that state, move through your days from that state. This requires a complete surrender of your current concept of self. You must die to your old self, your old beliefs, your old limitations. This is the true meaning of resurrection. It is not some future event that happens after physical death. It is a present reality available to you here and now. You can be reborn moment by consciously choosing a state you wish to embody. Let me share with you a technique that I have found particularly powerful in this regard. It is the technique of living in the end before you sleep each night. Create a scene in your imagination that implies the fulfillment of your desire. Make it as vivid and as real as you possibly can. Engage all your senses. If your desire is for a loving relationship, feel the embrace of your beloved. Hear their words of affection. Smell their familiar scent. Make it so real that if you were to open your eyes, you would be surprised to find yourself alone in your bed. Then, as you drift off to sleep, hold on to that scene. Let it be the last thing in your consciousness before you enter the sleep state. For in sleep, your conscious mind relaxes its hold and your subconscious mind becomes receptive to intuition. By impressing upon your subconscious the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you are planting a seed that must, by the very laws of mind, grow into your experienced reality. But remember, this is not a one-time event. You must persist in your assumption. You must live each day from the state of the wish fulfilled. This doesn't mean you ignore your current circumstances or neglect your daily responsibilities. Rather, it means that you overlay upon your daily activities the feeling tone of your desire fulfilled. You move through your day with the inner knowing that your desire is already a fact, even if your physical senses have not yet caught up with this new reality. Now let us address a common stumbling block on this path of conscious creation. Many of you may be wondering, what about my past failures? What about the evidence of my senses that seems to contradict my desires? To this, I say your past does not determine your future unless you allow it to do so. Your senses do not show you reality, they show you a reflection of your past assumptions and beliefs. Remember, consciousness is the only reality. Your physical world, with all its seeming solidity and permanence, is but a shadow, a reflection of your state of consciousness. When you change your state of consciousness, when you assume a new concept of self, the reflection must change. It has no choice. This is law. So do not be dismayed by apparent setbacks or delays. These are but the shadows of old beliefs passing away. Keep your focus on your inner world, on the feeling of the wish fulfilled. For it is your inner world that shapes your outer world, not the other way around. Let me share with you a powerful truth that, once fully realized, will free you from the bonds of limitation forever. You are not a victim of circumstances. You are not at the mercy of external forces. You are the creator of your reality. Every experience you have, every person you encounter, every circumstance in your life is a reflection of your own consciousness. Therefore, yourself pushed out. This means that there is no one to change but self. There is no one to forgive but self. There is no one to bless but self. For the world is yourself pushed out. When you change, your world must change. When you forgive, your world must forgive. When you bless, your world must bless. This is not philosophy. This is law. Now, some of you may be thinking, but what about other people? Surely they have their own free will to this. I say, in your world, there are no others. There is only you, fragmented into seemingly separate beings. But at the core, it is all you. This is why loving your neighbor as yourself is not just a moral injunction, but a statement of fact. Your neighbor is yourself. Understanding this truth liberates you from the need to manipulate or control others. Instead, you work on yourself. You revise your concept of self. You assume the best of others because you are assuming the best of yourself. And as you do this, you will watch in wonder as the people in your life begin to reflect back to you your new assumptions. This brings us to another crucial point in our discussion of how you can achieve anything. It is the power of your self-talk, your inner conversation. Your inner conversation is your direct line to your subconscious mind. It is the means by which you impress upon your subconscious the states you wish to embody. Most people go through life with an inner conversation that contradicts their desires. They say they want success, but their inner talk is filled with doubts and fears. They claim to want love, but their inner dialogue is one of unworthiness and expectation of rejection. Is it any wonder then that their outer world continues to reflect these inner contradictions? I urge you to become aware of your inner conversation. Listen to the voice in your head. What is it saying? Is it supporting your desires or sabotaging them? Once you become aware of your inner talk, you can begin to change it. Craft an inner conversation that aligns with your desires. Speak to yourself as you would speak to your dearest friend. Encourage yourself. Support yourself. Love yourself. For you see, your inner conversation is not just idle chatter. It is the very substance from which your reality is formed. Every word you speak to yourself is a seed planted in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind. And your subconscious mind does not discriminate. It accepts every seed you plant and brings it to fruition in your outer world. So guard the garden of your mind. Plant only those seeds that you wish to see bloom in the garden of your life. Speak to yourself of success, of love, of abundance, of joy. Do this consistently, persistently, and you will be amazed at how your outer world begins to align with your inner dialogue. Now let us delve deeper into the nature of desire itself. For you see, your desires are not random whims or fanciful notions. They are, in truth, God's way of telling you what you can be. Every desire that springs from the depths of your being is a glimpse of a possibility that already exists within you. It is a call from your higher self, your divine self, urging you to expand, to grow, to become more. This is why I say that nothing is impossible to you. For if you can desire it, if you can imagine it, then it already exists as a possibility within you. Your task is not to make it happen, but to allow it to unfold. You do this by aligning your consciousness with the state of the wish fulfilled, by living from the end, by assuming the feeling of the desire realized. But remember, desire without expectancy is futile. It is not enough to merely want something. You must expect it. You must know with unwavering certainty that it is yours. This knowing, this inner conviction, is the bridge between desire and manifestation. It is the power that brings the invisible into visible form. Let me share with you a secret that has been hidden in plain sight throughout the ages. It is the secret of the name of God, the great I Am. When God revealed himself to Moses, he did not give a name in the conventional sense. He said, I am that I am. This is not just a statement of existence. It is the key to all creation. For you see, every time you say I am, you are invoking the creative power of the universe. You are declaring your state of being, and the universe conforms to that declaration. This is why it is so crucial to be mindful of what follows your I am statements. When you say I am tired, I am broke, I am unlucky, you are defining your state of being. And the universe will provide experiences that match those states. Instead, use your I am statements wisely. Declare what you wish to be, not what you have been, or what you see in your current circumstances. Say, I am successful, I am wealthy, I am loved, I am healthy. Say these things not as affirmations to make them true, but as acknowledgments of what is already true in the realm of pure potential. For in truth, you are all these things and more. You are a multi-dimensional being, existing simultaneously in infinite states. Your I am statements are your way of tuning into the specific state you wish to experience. They are like radio dials, allowing you to tune into the frequency of the reality you desire to experience. Now, some of you may be wondering about the role of action in this process of conscious creation. After all, surely we can't just sit around imagining things and expect them to materialize out of thin air. To this I say, inspired action is indeed a part of the creative process, but it is not action born of struggle or strain. It is action that flows naturally from your assumed state. When you truly assume the state of the wish fulfilled, when you live from the end, you will find yourself naturally inspired to take actions that align with your desire. Opportunities will present themselves. Ideas will come to you. You will feel compelled to move in certain directions. This is the universe responding to your new state of being, providing the bridge of events that will lead to the physical manifestation. But remember, the action itself does not create your desire. The action is simply the outer expression of the inner change that has already taken place. This is why it's futile to take action from a state of lack or desperation. Such action is born of fear and will only perpetuate the state of lack. Instead, assume the state of your wish fulfilled and then act from that state. Your actions will then be imbued with the power of your assumption, and they will be far more effective in bringing about your desired results. Let us now turn our attention to a concept that is often misunderstood but is crucial to your ability to achieve anything you desire. It is the concept of faith. Most people think of faith as a blind belief in something unseen, a hope for something that may or may not come to pass. But I tell you, true faith is far more powerful than this.
True faith is the evidence of things not seen. It is the substance of things hoped for. In other words, faith is not hoping for something to happen. Faith is knowing that it has already happened, even if your physical senses have not yet caught up with this reality. Faith is living from the end, feeling the reality of your desire fulfilled, even when your outer world shows no evidence of it.
This kind of faith moves mountains. It parts seas. It transforms lives. For you see, when you have this kind of faith, you are aligning yourself with the creative power of the universe. You are declaring your oneness with the source of all creation. And in this state of alignment, of oneness, all things become possible. But how does one cultivate this kind of faith? It begins with understanding the nature of your true self. You are not your body. You are not your circumstances. You are not your past experiences or your future expectations. You are pure awareness, pure consciousness, the I am presence that is one with the creative power of the universe. When you truly grasp this truth, when you feel it in the very core of your being, faith becomes natural. For how can you doubt when you know that you are one with the source of all creation? How can you fear when you understand that you are the operant power, the divine creative force shaping your reality? This faith, this knowing, is the foundation upon which you can build the life of your dreams. It is the rock upon which you can stand firm, even when the storms of life rage around you, for you know with unshakable certainty that you are the master of your fate, the captain of your soul. Now, let us address a question that often one begins to grasp the power of conscious creation. What about the seemingly random events in life? What about accidents, illnesses, or global events that seem beyond our control? To this I say, there are no accidents in a universe governed by law. Every experience, every event is a reflection of consciousness. This doesn't mean that you consciously chose every experience in your life. Much of what you experience is the result of your habitual thoughts and beliefs, many of which operate below the level of conscious awareness. But the good news is, once you become aware of this, you can begin to consciously choose your state of being, and thus your experiences. Even in the face of global events or circumstances that seem beyond your control, you always have the power to choose your response. You have the power to choose the meaning you give to events, and in doing so, you are choosing the reality you will experience. Remember, the outer world is a reflection of your inner world. When you change your inner world, your perception and experience of the outer world must change. This is why two people can face the same external circumstance and have completely different experiences. It's not the circumstance itself that determines your experience, but your state of consciousness. This brings us to another powerful tool in your arsenal of conscious creation, the power of revision. Revision is not merely thinking positively about the future. It is actively reimagining past events in a way that serves your desired state of being. For you see, the past only exists in your memory. And memory, like all aspects of consciousness, is fluid and changeable. When you revise a past event, you are not denying what happened. Rather, you are choosing to focus on and embody a different version of that event, one that aligns with your desired state of being. As you do this, you will find that your present circumstances begin to shift to align with your revised past. This may seem impossible from a linear time perspective, but remember, time as you perceive it is an illusion. In the realm of consciousness, all time is simultaneous. By revising the past, you are not changing what was, but rather, you are selecting a different version of reality from the infinite array of possibilities. Let me give you a practical example of how this works. Suppose you had a difficult interaction with a colleague at work. Instead of replaying the negative interaction in your mind, revise it. Reimagine the interaction going smoothly and positively. Feel the relief and satisfaction of this revised interaction. Do this with feeling, with conviction. As you persist in this revised version, you will notice changes in your relationship with this colleague. They may suddenly become more friendly, more cooperative. You may find yourself responding to them differently, creating a new dynamic in your relationship. This is the power of revision at work. But revision is not limited to recent events. You can revise any aspect of your past, no matter how distant. If you have a belief that stems from childhood experiences, revise those experiences. Reimagine your childhood as supportive, loving, abundant. Feel the emotion of growing up in such an environment. As you do this, you will find your present circumstances beginning to reflect this new past. Now, some of you may be wondering about the ethical implications of this power. You may be asking, if I can achieve anything, does that mean I can manipulate others or cause harm to this? I say, when you truly understand the law of conscious creation, you realize that harming others is harming yourself. For there is no other. There is only the one consciousness, fragmented into seemingly separate beings. When you operate from this understanding, your desires naturally align with the highest good for all. For you recognize that what blesses one blesses all. What harms one harms all. This is the true meaning of love your neighbor as yourself. It is not a moral injunction, but a statement of fact. Your neighbor is yourself. Moreover, you cannot effectively use this law to override another's free will. Each being is a unique expression of the divine with their own path and their own choices. What you can do is assume the best in others, see the divine in them, and watch as they rise to meet your assumption. This brings us to another crucial aspect of conscious creation, detachment. Many people, when they first learn about the law of assumption, try to control every aspect of their manifestation. They become attached to specific outcomes, specific people, specific timelines. But this attachment often creates resistance and blocks the natural flow of manifestation. Instead, I urge you to focus on the essence of your desire, the feeling state of your wish fulfilled, and then detach from the specifics of how it will come about. Trust in the infinite intelligence of the universe to bring about your desire in ways that may surprise and delight you. This detachment is not indifference. It is not giving up on your desire. Rather, it is a deep trust in the perfect unfolding of your manifestation. It is the knowing that what is yours cannot miss you, and what misses you was not yours. Detachment allows you to remain open to possibilities you may not have considered. It allows the universe to work on your behalf in ways that your limited human perspective may not be able to conceive. It is the difference between trying to control the river's flow and simply stepping into the current and allowing it to carry you to your destination. Now let us address a common concern that arises when people begin to work with the law of conscious creation. Many worry about the time it takes for their desires to manifest in the physical world. They become impatient, constantly looking for signs of their manifestation, and in doing so, they often create more resistance. To this I say time is a construct of the human mind. In the realm of pure consciousness, where all creation takes place, there is no time. All possibilities exist simultaneously. When you truly assume the state of the wish fulfilled, when you live from the end, you have already received your desire. The time it takes for this to reflect in your physical reality is irrelevant. Moreover, this apparent time delay is often a blessing. It allows for the bridge of events to form, for circumstances to arrange themselves in a way that makes the manifestation of your desire feel natural and harmonious. Trust in this process. Know that everything is working out perfectly, even if you can't yet see the full picture. Remember, the feeling of the wish fulfilled is your aim. Once you have that feeling, once you are living from that state, you have already achieved your desire in the only place that truly matters, in consciousness. The outer manifestation is merely the shadow, the reflection of this inner reality. As we near the conclusion of our discussion, I want to emphasize a point that is often overlooked, but is crucial to your ability to achieve anything you desire. It is the importance of gratitude. Gratitude is not merely a polite response to receiving something. It is a powerful creative force. When you cultivate an attitude of gratitude, you are aligning yourself with the abundance of the universe. You are declaring to the universe that you are ready and willing to receive more. For you see, the universe operates on the principle of like attracts like. When you are grateful, you attract more experiences that will evoke gratitude.
Moreover, gratitude keeps you in the state of the wish fulfilled. When you are truly grateful, you are not yearning or wanting. You are in a state of having, of abundance, and from this state, you naturally attract more abundance into your life.
So cultivate gratitude not just for what you have already received, but for what is on its way to you. Give thanks for your desires as if they have already manifested. Feel the gratitude you would feel if your wish were already fulfilled. This is another powerful way of living from the end, of assuming the state of the wish fulfilled. In conclusion, my dear friends, let me remind you once again of the profound truth we have explored today. You can indeed achieve anything. This is not a motivational slogan or a feel-good affirmation. It is the very law of your being. You are the operant power in your world. You are the divine creative force shaping your reality. Your imagination is God in action. Your assumptions are the pillars upon which your world rests. Your inner conversations are the scripts of your life drama. And your I am statements are declarations to the universe of who you choose to be. Remember, the world you see around you is nothing more than yourself pushed out. Change yourself, and your world must change. There is no one to change but self. There is no one to forgive but self. There is no one to bless but self.
Live from the state of the wish fulfilled. Feel the reality of your desire now. Know that what you seek is seeking you. Trust in the perfect unfolding of your manifestation. Detach from the specifics and focus on the essence of your desire. Cultivate unwavering faith, not in some external power, but in the creative power of your own consciousness. Revise your past, reimagine your present, and watch as your future unfolds in miraculous ways.
And above all, be grateful. Be grateful for what you have, for what is coming, for the infinite potential that resides within you, for you are far more powerful than you have ever imagined. You are the creator of your reality, the author of your life story. So go forth, my friends, with this knowledge burning brightly in your hearts. Know that you can achieve anything you can imagine, for imagination is the God within you, and with God all things are possible. The world is yours to shape, to mold, to create. You are limited only by your assumptions about what is possible. Dare to assume greatness. Dare to live from the state of your wishes fulfilled. Dare to be the person you've always dreamed of being. For in truth, you already are that person. You need only to awaken to this reality.
And as you do, as you step into the fullness of your divine creative power, you will watch in awe and awe as the world reshapes itself to match your new assumption. You will marvel at the synchronicities, the coincidences, the magical unfolding of events that lead you to the manifestation of your desires.
This is your birthright. This is your true nature. This is the power that has been within you all along, waiting for you to claim it. So claim it now. Step into your power. Assume the state of the wish fulfilled. And watch as miracles become your new normal.
For you are the miracle. You are the magic. You are the divine creative force that shapes worlds. And with this understanding, there is truly nothing you cannot achieve. The world is yours. Go forth and create the life of your dreams, for it is already yours in the only place that truly matters, in the realm of pure consciousness, where all creation begins.
Many of you may think of it as some external force, separate from your daily life. But I tell you now, manifestation is not separate from you, it is you. It is the very essence of your being, the creative power that shapes your entire reality. Imagine, if you will, that your current reality is like a garment you wear. It may feel comfortable, familiar, even inevitable. But I assure you it is no more permanent or real than the clothes on your back. You can change it just as easily as you change your attire. The secret lies in your imagination and your ability to feel the reality of your desire. Now you might be wondering, Neville, how can I manifest quickly? Isn't change a slow process? And therein lies the crux of our discussion today. The speed of manifestation is not determined by external factors, but by the intensity of your belief and the vividness of your imaginal acts. You see, the world you experience is not happening to you. It is happening from you. Every circumstance, every event, every interaction in your life is a reflection of your inner assumptions. These assumptions are like seeds planted in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind. And just as a seed grows into a plant, your assumptions grow into your experienced reality. This is why many people find themselves stuck in patterns of lack, of struggle, of not enoughness. They have unknowingly been planting these seeds in their subconscious mind through years of repetitive thoughts and feelings of limitation. But here's the liberating truth. You have the power to choose what seeds you plant. You have the ability to consciously assume the state of your wish fulfilled, regardless of your current circumstances. This, my friends, is the key to fast manifestation. So how do we begin this process of rapid manifestation? The first step is to clearly define what you wish to manifest. Be specific. Don't simply say, I want more money. Instead, imagine in vivid detail what your life looks like with the exact amount of money you desire. How do you feel? What are you doing? How do you spend your time? The more specific and detailed your vision, the more clearly you communicate with your subconscious mind. Once you have this clear vision, the next step is to assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled. This is crucial. You must feel the reality of your desire now, not in some distant future. Remember, your subconscious mind doesn't understand time. It only understands the present moment. So if you constantly feel that your desire is something in the future, it will always remain in the future. Instead, assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled now. How would you feel if your desire were already realized? Would you feel joyful? Confident? Free? Grateful? Embody these feelings. Live from this state of being. This is not pretending or lying to yourself. This is assuming a new state of consciousness, which is the very essence of fast manifestation. Now, some of you may be thinking, but Neville, how can I feel something that isn't yet true? This is where the power of your imagination comes into play. Your imagination is the bridge between your current reality and your desired state. It is through your imagination that you can step into the feeling of your wish fulfilled, even before it manifests in the physical world. Your imagination is not a flight of fancy or a frivolous faculty. It is the very workshop wherein you fashion your future. When you imagine, you are experiencing reality at its most fundamental level. You are engaging with the pure potential of consciousness, shaping it with your attention and your assumption. To use your imagination effectively for fast manifestation, you must first quiet your conscious mind. The chattering of your daily thoughts, your worries, your doubts, these must be silenced. Enter a state of relaxation, a state akin to sleep, but in which you remain consciously aware. In this state, your subconscious mind becomes more receptive to impression. Once in this relaxed state, construct your scene. This scene should be one that implies the fulfillment of your desire. If your desire is for a successful career, you might imagine yourself in your ideal office or receiving congratulations from colleagues. If it's financial abundance you seek, imagine yourself looking at your bank statement with joy and gratitude. The scene itself should be short and simple. It's not about creating an elaborate story, but about capturing a moment that implies your desire is now a fact. This scene is your platform, the stage upon which you will enact the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Now step into this scene. Don't watch it as a spectator, but experience it from the first-person perspective. Be there in that moment. And as you experience it, let the feeling of fulfillment wash over you. Feel the gratitude, the joy, the satisfaction of having your desire realized. This is where many falter in their attempts at fast manifestation. They can see the scene clearly, but they fail to evoke the feeling. Remember, it is the feeling that gives life to your imaginal act. Without feeling, visualization is merely a mental exercise. With feeling, it becomes an act of creation. As you practice this, you may find that the feeling comes more easily with repetition. Each time you return to your scene, the feeling becomes more vivid, more real. This is good. You are strengthening the impression upon your subconscious mind. But here's a crucial point for fast manifestation. Once you have evoked the feeling, once you have impressed it upon your subconscious, you must carry it with you into your waking life. This is where many stumble. They do their visualization exercise, they feel it intensely in the moment, but then they return to their daily life and fall back into old patterns of thought and feeling. To manifest quickly, you must maintain the feeling of your wish fulfilled, even in the face of contradictory evidence. This is where faith comes in. Not blind faith, but faith born of understanding that your outer world is a reflection of your inner state. When you truly grasp this, you will no longer be swayed by appearances. You will know that what you see around you is the effect, not the cause. The cause lies in your consciousness, in your feeling. And as you persist in the feeling of your wish fulfilled, your outer world must reshape itself to match this inner conviction. Now let us address a common challenge in fast manifestation, the apparent contradictions of your senses. As you begin to live in the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you may find that your current circumstances seem to contradict your assumption. Bills may still need to be paid. Problems may still arise. How do you maintain your feeling in the face of these seeming contradictions? This is where the art of ignoring comes into play. To ignore is not to deny the existence of something, but to refrain from giving it your attention and energy. When contradictory evidence appears, acknowledge it briefly. Then immediately return your attention to the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Remember, what you see in your outer world is the result of past assumptions, past feelings. It is like an echo of what you once believed. Your task now is to give more attention, more importance, more reality to your new assumption than to these outdated circumstances. This practice requires mental discipline. It requires you to stand firm in your new assumption, even when your senses argue against it. But remember, your senses only show you what has been, not what can be. Your imagination, informed by your feeling, shows you what will be. As you persist in maintaining the feeling of your wish fulfilled, even in the face of contradictory evidence, you will begin to see changes in your outer world. These changes may start small, a fortunate coincidence, an unexpected opportunity, a shift in someone's behavior towards you. Do not dismiss these as mere chance. They are the first fruits of your new assumption taking root. For fast manifestation, it's crucial to recognize and appreciate these small changes. They are confirmations that your imaginal act is working, that your new assumption is reshaping your reality. Acknowledge them with gratitude, for gratitude accelerates the manifestation process. Now let us delve deeper into the nature of feeling in fast manifestation. When I speak of feeling, I am not referring merely to emotions, though emotions play a part. I am speaking of a deeper sense, a knowing and unshakable conviction. It is the difference between saying I want to be wealthy and knowing in the very core of your being, I am wealthy. This feeling conviction is not something you can fake or force. It arises naturally when you have successfully impressed your desire upon your subconscious mind. This is why the repeated use of your imagination is so crucial for fast manifestation. Each time you return to your imaginal scene, each time you step into the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you are deepening this impression. Think of it like wearing a groove in a record. The first time you play the record, the needle may skip and jump. But with repeated plays, the groove deepens and the music plays smoothly. Similarly, as you repeat your imaginal act, the feeling becomes more natural, more habitual. It becomes your dominant state. This is the state from which fast manifestation occurs. When you can maintain this feeling conviction throughout your day, when it becomes as natural as breathing, you have mastered the art of conscious creation. Your outer world has no choice but to conform to this inner state. But what of those moments when doubt creeps in? When fear arises, when the old patterns of thought and feeling try to reassert themselves? These moments are inevitable, especially in the beginning of your practice. Do not be discouraged by them. Instead, see them as opportunities to strengthen your new assumption. When doubt arises, do not fight it. Fighting against a thought only gives it more power. Instead, gently but firmly return to your feeling of wish fulfilled. Remind yourself that what you see around you is the past. Your new assumption, your new feeling is creating your future. This brings us to another crucial aspect of fast manifestation, the concept of living in the end. Living in the end means assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled in your day-to-day life. It's not enough to visualize for a few minutes each day and then return to your old patterns of thought and feeling. You must carry the feeling of your wish fulfilled with you throughout yourself. This doesn't mean you deny your current circumstances. Rather, you acknowledge them briefly, then immediately return to the feeling of your desire fulfilled. You live from the assumption that what you desire is already yours. For example, if your desire is for financial abundance, you would feel the security, freedom, and joy of wealth as you go about your day. When you make purchases, you would feel the ease and confidence of someone who has more than enough. When you interact with others, you would carry yourself with the assurance of a wealthy person. Living in the end requires a shift in your entire way of being. It's not about pretending or play acting. It's about genuinely assuming a new state of consciousness. When you do this effectively, you'll find that your actions naturally align with your assumed state, accelerating the manifestation process. Now let us address the role of action in fast manifestation. Some people mistakenly believe that manifesting means they can simply imagine their desires and then sit back and wait for them to magically appear. This is not the case. Fast manifestation does not negate action. It informs action. When you successfully impress your desire upon your subconscious mind, when you truly feel your wish fulfilled, you will be inspired to take actions that align with this state. These actions will feel natural, even inevitable. They will not be driven by fear or lack, but will flow from your assumed state of fulfillment. This is a crucial distinction. When you take action from a place of lack, trying to get what you desire, you are actually affirming the assumption of not having it. But when you take action from the assumption of already having your desire fulfilled, you open yourself to infinite possibilities for its expression and expansion. So do not neglect action, but ensure that your actions are aligned with and flowing from your assumed state. Let your feeling guide your actions rather than hoping your actions will create the feeling. This alignment of inner state and outer action is key to fast manifestation. Now let us explore the concept of detachment in relation to fast manifestation. Detachment doesn't mean you don't care about your desire. Rather, it means you're not anxiously attached to seeing immediate results or figuring out how your desire will manifest. When you're detached, you can imagine and feel your desire fulfilled without constantly looking for signs of its manifestation. You trust in the process, knowing that as you maintain the feeling of your wish fulfilled, it must inevitably express itself in your outer world. Detachment allows you to live in the present moment while holding your assumed state. It frees you from the anxiety and doubt that can slow down the manifestation process. It allows you to enjoy the journey of manifestation rather than being solely focused on the destination. Practice detachment by reminding yourself that your imaginal act imbued with feeling is the reality. What you see in the outer world is just a shadow, a reflection of past assumptions. As you persist in your new assumption, this shadow must change to match the new reality you're imagining and feeling. Let us now address the importance of gratitude in fast manifestation. Gratitude is not just a pleasant emotion, it is a powerful creative force. When you feel genuinely grateful, you are affirming that you already have what you desire. This aligns perfectly with the principle of living in the end. Begin to cultivate an attitude of gratitude for your desire, even before you see it manifested in your physical reality. Be thankful for it, as if it were already yours. Feel appreciation for the abundance that surrounds you in all forms, the air you breathe, the sun that shines, the food you eat. As you practice gratitude, you are assuming the state of someone who has their desire fulfilled. This assumption, persistently held, must manifest in your outer world as the realization of your desire. Now let us explore the power of revision in fast manifestation. Revision is not merely about changing your memories or rewriting your past. It is about recognizing that the past only exists in your mind, and therefore it can be changed in your mind. At the end of each day, take a few moments to review the events of your day. If there were any events that were not to your liking, revise them in your imagination. See them unfolding in a way that aligns with your desired state. Feel the satisfaction, the joy, the fulfillment of this revised version of events. By doing this, you are not denying what physically happened. You are changing the impact of that event on your subconscious mind. You are impressing upon your subconscious a reality that aligns with your desires rather than one that contradicts them. As you make this practice of revision a habit, you will find that your reactions to current events begin to change. You'll become less reactive, more peaceful, more aligned with your desired states of being. This alignment accelerates the manifestation process. Let us now discuss the importance of persistence in fast manifestation. While we speak of fast manifestation, it's important to understand that the speed of manifestation is relative. Some desires may manifest almost instantly, while others may take more time. The key is to persist in your assumption, regardless of how long it seems to be taking. Remember, the outer world is a reflection of your inner state. If you waver in your assumption, if you lose faith in the process, you send mixed signals to your subconscious mind, which can slow down the manifestation process. Persistence doesn't mean forcing or struggling. It means consistently returning to the feeling of your wish fulfilled, even when the outer world seems to contradict it. It means choosing again and again to live from the end, to embody the state of having your desire realized. This persistence requires faith, not blind faith, but faith born of understanding. Understanding that your outer world is a reflection of your inner state. And that as you persist in your new assumption, your world must reshape itself to match it. Now let us address the role of self-concept in fast manifestation. Your self-concept, the beliefs you hold about who you are, is perhaps the most powerful factor in determining what you can manifest in your life. Many people struggle to manifest their desires quickly because their self-concept contradicts what they're trying to achieve. They may visualize wealth, but deep down, they don't believe they're the kind of person who can be wealthy. They may imagine a loving relationship, but fundamentally believe they're unworthy of love. To manifest quickly, you must be willing to revise your self-concept. This involves imagining and feeling yourself as the person who already has what you desire. It's not about creating a false image of yourself, but about recognizing and embracing your true, limitless nature. Remember, at your core, you are pure consciousness. You are not defined by your past experiences, your current circumstances, or the opinions of others. You are the awareness in which all these things appear. And this awareness, your true self, is infinite in its potential. As you use your imagination to assume your desired states, you are essentially recreating yourself. You are stepping into a new concept of self, a new understanding of who you are and what's possible for you. This revision of self-concept is crucial for fast manifestation. As you align your self-concept with your desires, you remove the inner contradictions that can slow down the manifestation process. Now, let us explore the role of emotion in fast manifestation. Emotion is the fuel that powers your imaginal acts. It's not enough to merely visualize or think about your desires. You must feel them. When you combine vivid imagination with genuine emotion, you create a powerful impression on your subconscious mind. This is because your subconscious responds more strongly to feeling than to intellectual thought. W. Continue and finish in 6-7 paragraphs. The emotions you want to cultivate are those you would feel if your desire were already realized. If your desire is for wealth, feel the security, the freedom, the joy that comes with financial abundance. If it's a loving relationship you seek, feel the love, the connection, the companionship. These emotions should be so real, so intense, that when you open your eyes and return to your present circumstances, you carry with you a sense of fulfillment, as if your desire has already been realized. This emotional component is what distinguishes effective fast manifestation from mere daydreaming or wishful thinking. When you can genuinely feel your desire as an accomplished fact, you are impressing it upon your subconscious mind as a reality. Your subconscious then works tirelessly to bring this feeling into physical manifestation. Another crucial aspect of fast manifestation is the practice of letting go. This might seem counterintuitive. After all, if you want something badly, shouldn't you focus on it constantly? But the truth is, obsessing over your desire can actually slow down the manifestation process. It implies a state of wanting, of not having, which contradicts the assumption that your wish is fulfilled. Letting go means trusting in the process. It means doing your imaginal work, feeling the reality of your desire, and then releasing it, knowing that the seed has been planted and will grow in its own time. This state of peaceful expectancy, free from anxiety or doubt, creates the perfect conditions for rapid manifestation. As we near the conclusion of our exploration of fast manifestation, remember this: the power to transform your reality lies within you. It resides in your ability to imagine vividly, to feel deeply, and to persist faithfully in the assumption of your wish fulfilled. The speed of manifestation is not determined by external factors, but by the intensity of your belief and the consistency of your imaginal acts. Go forth from here with this knowledge. Apply these principles in your daily life. Use your imagination consciously and deliberately to create scenes that imply the fulfillment of your desires. Feel the reality of your wish fulfilled with every fiber of your being. Persist in this feeling even when your senses deny it. For as you do, you are reshaping your entire world, manifesting your desires with a speed and precision you may have thought impossible. Remember, you are the operant power in your world. You are limited only by your ability to imagine and to feel the reality of your wishes fulfilled. Embrace this truth, live from this understanding, and watch as your world transforms around you, reflecting the newfound mastery of your creative consciousness. Imagine, if you will, a world where your thoughts shape your reality, where your imagination is the creative force that molds the very fabric of your existence. This is not a fantasy, my dear friends, but the fundamental truth of our being. For you see, the world you perceive around you is nothing but an outward picture of your inner assumptions. Every circumstance, every event, every person in your life is there because you have imagined it so. Now you might be thinking, Neville, how can this be? How can my mere thoughts and imagination create such profound changes in just 1 week? And to that, I say time is but an illusion, a construct of the human mind. In the realm of spirit, in the kingdom within you, there is no time. There is only the eternal now, the precious present moment in which all possibilities exist simultaneously. As we embark on this journey together, exploring these 5 transformative habits, I want you to shed all preconceived notions of what is possible or impossible. For in the world of imagination, there are no limits, no boundaries, and no obstacles that cannot be overcome. You are about to discover the immense power that has been lying dormant within you, waiting to be awakened and harnessed. The first habit that will revolutionize your life is the practice of living in the end. This, my friends, is the cornerstone of all creation, the very foundation upon which your new life will be built. Living in the end means assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled, experiencing in your imagination the reality you desire, as if it were already manifest in the physical world. Let me illustrate this profound truth with a simple example. Suppose you desire financial abundance. Instead of focusing on your current state of lack or limitation, you must assume the feeling of already possessed. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine yourself living in the beautiful home you've always dreamed of. Feel the soft carpet beneath your feet. Smell the fragrant flowers in your garden. Hear the laughter of your loved ones echoing through the spacious rooms. This, my dear friends, is not mere daydreaming or escapism. This is the very act of creation. For you see, your imagination is God in action. It is the creative power of the universe expressing itself through you. When you assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you are aligning yourself with the creative forces of the cosmos, setting in motion a series of events that must inevitably lead to the manifestation of your desire. But remember, it is not enough to simply visualize your desire for a few moments and then return to your old patterns of your thought and behavior. You must persist in this new assumption, making it your dominant feeling, your new reality. This is where the power of the second habit comes into play, the art of revision. Revision, my friends, is the magical act of rewriting your past to align with your desired future. It is the recognition that time is fluid, that your memories are not fixed, immutable things, but rather malleable impressions that can be reshaped by the power of your imagination. Let us say that you had an unpleasant encounter with a colleague at work. Instead of replaying this negative experience in your mind, reinforcing feelings of anger or resentment, you have the power to revise this event. Close your eyes and replay the scene in your imagination. But this time, see it unfold exactly as you would have wished. Hear the kind words, feel the warmth of a friendly interaction, experience the mutual respect and understanding. As you practice this habit of revision, you will find that not only does it change your perception of past events, but it also transforms your present and future. For you see, by revising the past, you are altering the very foundation upon which your current reality is built. You are rewriting the script of your life, scene by scene, moment by moment. Now, some of you may be thinking, But Neville, how can changing my imagination of past events alter what has already happened? And to that, I say, what you perceive as the past is nothing but a memory, a thought you are thinking in the present moment. By changing that thought, by revising that memory, you are quite literally altering the past, present, and future in one fell swoop. As you practice these first two habits, living in the end and revision, you will begin to notice a shift in your consciousness. The world around you will start to reflect your new assumptions, your revised memories. This is where the third transformative habit comes into play, the cultivation of unwavering faith. Faith, my dear friends, is not blind belief in something outside of yourself. It is not hoping or wishing for a better future. True faith is the absolute conviction that what you have imagined in your mind and felt in your heart must inevitably manifest in your physical reality. It is the unshakable knowing that your desires are already fulfilled in the spiritual realm and are now moving into expression in the world of form. To cultivate this unwavering faith, you must learn to dismiss the evidence of your physical senses when they contradict your desired reality. If you have imagined financial abundance, yet your bank account shows a lack of funds, you must have the courage and conviction to say, this is but a shadow of the old man. My true reality is one of infinite abundance, and that is what I choose to accept and believe. This habit of faith requires practice and persistence. It demands that you stand firm in your conviction even when the entire world seems to argue against it. But I assure you, my friends, that as you strengthen this muscle of faith, you will witness miracles unfold in your life. For faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Now, let us turn our attention to the fourth habit, one that is often overlooked but is absolutely crucial in the art of conscious creation, the practice of gratitude. Gratitude, my friends, is not merely a polite social custom or a fleeting emotion. It is a powerful creative force, a state of being that aligns you with the abundance of the universe. When you cultivate an attitude of genuine gratitude, you are acknowledging that you already possess everything you desire. You are recognizing the infinite abundance that surrounds you at every moment. This state of thankfulness opens the floodgates of blessings, attracting more and more reasons to be grateful. Begin each day by counting your blessings. Before you rise from your bed, take a few moments to feel deep appreciation for all that you have in your life. Be thankful for the air you breathe, the beating of your heart, the roof over your head, the love of your family and friends. But don't stop there. Express gratitude for the things you desire as if you already possess them. If you desire perfect health, give thanks for your strong, vibrant body. If you seek a loving relationship, feel grateful for the wonderful partner who is already in your life, even if you haven't met them in the physical realm yet. Remember, in the world of imagination, in the kingdom within you, all things already exist. Your gratitude is the bridge that brings these desires into your physical experience. As you practice this habit of gratitude, you will find that your entire perspective on life begins to shift. The world around you will appear more beautiful, more abundant, more filled with opportunities and blessings. You will begin to see evidence of your desired reality everywhere you look, further strengthening your faith and accelerating the manifestation of your Liga. Now we come to the fifth and final habit, one that ties all the others together and amplifies their power exponentially, the art of letting go. This, my dear friends, is perhaps the most challenging habit to master. But it is also the most liberating and transformative. Letting go means releasing your attachment to the outcome, surrendering your desires to the infinite wisdom of the universe. It means trusting that once you have planted the seed of your desire in the fertile soil of your imagination, nurtured it with the water of your faith, and bathed it in the sunlight of your gratitude, you must then step back and allow it to grow in its own time and in its own way. Many of you may be wondering, but Neville, doesn't letting go contradict the idea of living in the end? How can I assume the feeling of my wish fulfilled while also detaching from the outcome? And to that I say, letting go is not about abandoning your desire or ceasing to live in the end. It is about releasing the anxiety, the doubt, and the need to control how and when your desire will manifest. When you truly let go, you enter a state of perfect peace and trust. You know with absolute certainty that your desire is already yours in the spiritual realm, and you are content to allow it to unfold in the physical world in the most beautiful and harmonious way possible. This state of letting go removes all resistance, all doubt, and all fear, creating a clear channel through which your desire can flow into your joy experience. Imagine, if you will, that you have ordered a package from a trusted source. You know with certainty that the package has been sent and is on its way to you. You spend every waking moment anxiously checking your mailbox or tracking the package's progress. Of course not. You simply go about your day confident in the knowledge that your package will arrive at the perfect time. This, my friends, is the essence of letting go. As you practice these 5 habits, living in the end, revision, unwavering faith, gratitude, and letting go, you will witness a transformation in your life so profound, so all-encompassing that it will seem nothing short of miraculous. And yet, it is not a miracle in the conventional sense. It is simply the natural outcome of aligning yourself with the creative power of the universe, of recognizing and embracing your true nature as a divine being, capable of shaping reality through the power of your imagination. Now, I want you to understand that these habits are not separate, isolated practices. They are interconnected, each one supporting and amplifying the others. As you live in the end, assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you naturally cultivate gratitude for what you have imagined. As you revise your past, you strengthen your faith in the malleability of reality. As you let go, you demonstrate your unwavering trust in the perfect unfolding of your desires. In just 1 week of consistently applying these habits, you will begin to see evidence of your new reality taking shape around you. But remember, my dear friends, time is an illusion. In the realm of spirit, change can happen in an instant. The moment you truly embrace these habits, the moment you fully accept your divine nature and the creative power of your imagination, your entire world can shift in the blink of an eye. Let me share with you a story that illustrates the transformative power of these habits. There was once a man who had struggled with financial difficulties for many years. He lived in a small, cramped apartment, could barely make ends meet, and felt trapped in a job he despised. Then he discovered these 5 habits and decided to apply them with unwavering commitment. For 1 week, he dedicated himself to living in the end. Every night before sleep and every morning upon waking, he would close his eyes and imagine himself living in a beautiful home, enjoying financial abundance, and working in a fulfilling career. He felt the joy, the freedom, the sense of security that came with this new reality. He revised his past, reimagining his childhood as one of abundance and opportunity. In his mind, he rewrote every memory of lack or limitation, replacing them with experiences of plenty and success. He cultivated unwavering faith, dismissing any doubts or negative thoughts that arose, affirming to himself, I am now living my ideal life. My success is assured. Throughout the day, he practiced gratitude, giving thanks for the abundance that surrounded him, even if his physical circumstances hadn't yet changed. He expressed heartfelt appreciation for his imagined wealth, his dream home, his perfect job, feeling the emotions as if these things were already his. And finally, he mastered the art of letting go. He released his anxiety about how or when his desires would manifest, trusting in the perfect timing of the universe. He went about his days with a sense of peace and contentment, knowing that his new reality was already secured in the spiritual realm. Now, you might expect me to tell you that after 1 week, this man suddenly won the lottery or received a large inheritance. But that is not how the law of assumption works. Instead, something far more profound occurred. The man's entire perception of his life transformed. He began to see opportunities where before he had only seen obstacles. His confidence soared, and he found himself performing better at work, leading to a promotion and a significant raise. His new positive attitude attracted people who could help him advance his career. An acquaintance offered him a chance to invest in a promising business venture, which he seized with both hands. Within a month, he had moved into a larger, more comfortable apartment. Within 3 months, he had started his own successful business, and within a year, he was living in the very home he had imagined during that transformative week. You see, my friends, the external changes in this man's life were merely reflections of the internal changes he had made through these 5 habits. By assuming the feeling of his wish fulfilled, by revising his past, by cultivating unwavering faith, by practicing gratitude, and by letting go, he had literally transformed himself into a new person, one whose reality matched his desires. Now I can sense that some of you may be thinking, but Neville, surely it can't be that simple. Surely there must be more to it than just imagining and feeling, and to that I say, yes, it is that simple, and no, there is nothing more to it. The power of creation lies within you, within your capacity to imagine and feel. Everything else, all the actions, all the apparent hard work, flows naturally from that initial creative act of imagination. Consider the words of the great William Blake. What is now proved was once only imagined. Everything in your world, from the chair you're sitting on to the most advanced technology, began as a thought, an idea, a spark of imagination in someone's mind. You, my dear friends, have that same creative power within you. You are not merely a passive observer of reality. You are the author of your life story. As we near the conclusion of our time together, I want to impress upon you the urgency of applying these habits in your life. Do not delay, do not procrastinate, do not tell yourself that you will start tomorrow. The time to begin is now, this very moment. For in truth, this moment is all that exists. The past is gone, the future is yet to be. But in this eternal now, you have the power to reshape your entire world. Begin tonight as you lay your head upon your pillow. Close your eyes and enter the state akin to sleep. That drowsy, quiet state where your conscious mind relaxes and your subconscious becomes receptive. In this state, assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled. See yourself living the life you desire. Feel the emotions associated with having your dreams realized. As you drift off to sleep, carry this feeling with you into your slumber, for your subconscious mind never sleeps. And it is in these quiet hours of the night that it works most powerfully to bring your assumptions into reality. When you awaken in the morning, before you rise from your bed, revisit this feeling. Spend a few moments in gratitude for the new day and for the fulfillment of your desires. Throughout your day, whenever you have a spare moment, while waiting in line, during your lunch break, as you commute to and from work, practice these habits. Live in the end, revise any unpleasant experiences, cultivate your faith, express gratitude, and let go of any anxiety or doubt. Remember, my friends, consistency is key. These habits are not a one-time exercise, but a new way of life. They require practice, dedication, and persistence. But I assure you, the rewards are beyond anything you can currently imagine. For as you master these habits, you master the very art of living. You become conscious creators, divine beings expressing the infinite power of the universe through your thoughts and feelings. In closing, I want to remind you of a profound truth. You are not bound by your past, by your current circumstances, or by what others think is possible for you. You are bound only by your own imagination and your willingness to assume the feeling of your wishes fulfilled. The life you dream of is not somewhere out there in a distant future. It exists now in this very moment within you. So go forth, my dear friends, and apply these 5 habits with all the intensity and conviction you can muster. Live in the end, revise your past, cultivate unwavering faith, practice gratitude, and learn to let go. Do this, and I promise you, in just 1 week, you will see your world begin to transform. And as you persist in these habits, you will continue to witness miracles unfold in your life, day after day, week after week, until you stand in awe of the magnificent reality you have created. Remember, the kingdom of heaven is within you. All that you seek, all the love, all the abundance, all the joy, all the success, it is already yours. You need only to claim it, to assume it, to embody it. For you are the operant power. You are the divine creative force expressing itself in human form. Embrace this truth, live from this understanding, and watch as your life transforms in ways you never thought possible. Go now and be the creator of your world. For in the words of the immortal bard, all the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. You, my friends, are not just players in this grand drama of life. You are the playwright, the director, and the star of your own magnificent story. Write it well, direct it with purpose, and play your part with all the passion and conviction you can muster. The curtain rises on your new life now. Step onto the stage of your transformed reality with confidence, with joy, and with the unshakable knowledge that you are the author of your destiny. The power is yours, the time is now, and the only limit is your imagination. Embrace these 5 habits, embody them fully, and watch as your life changes in just 1 week and continues to evolve into a masterpiece of your own creation. Thank you, bless you, and may your journey of conscious creation bring you all the joy, abundance, and fulfillment your heart desires. Remember, it is done. It is finished. Your new life awaits you. Claim it now with every fiber of your being and step into the glorious reality that is your divine birthright. The world is yours, shaped by your imagination, molded by your assumptions, and brought to life by the power of your consciousness. Go forth and create miracles, for that is who you truly are. Miracle workers, divine creators, gods in human form. The stage is set, the lights are on, and your magnificent performance begins now. Bravo, my friends, bravo. Let us begin by understanding that your home, your sacred space, is not merely a physical structure of brick and mortar. It is a living, breathing extension of your own mind. Every object within its walls, every picture hung, every trinket displayed, is imbued with the power of your attention and belief. These items are not inert. They are active participants in the grand drama of your life, playing roles assigned to them by your imagination. What we commonly refer to as demons are nothing more than undesirable states of consciousness, negative patterns of thought and emotion that we have allowed to take root in our minds. These demons do not exist outside of us. They are not separate entities lurking in the shadows. They are creations of our own making, given life by our fears, doubts, and limiting beliefs. The items in your home that attract demons are those that reinforce these negative states of consciousness. They are the physical anchors for the undesirable conditions in your life. But remember, it is not the item cells that possess any inherent power. It is the meaning you assign to them, the stories you tell yourself about them, that give them their influence over your life. Consider for a moment a broken mirror. In many cultures, this is considered an item of bad luck, said to bring 7 years of misfortune. But ask yourself, does the mirror itself hold any power? Is there some mystical force contained within its shattered surface? Of course not. The power lies in the belief, in the expectation of misfortune that arises whenever you gaze upon that broken reflection. If you accept the idea that a broken mirror brings bad luck, if you feel a sense of dread or unease every time you pass by it, then you are in essence inviting that inner state of consciousness into your life. You are opening the door to the demon of misfortune, allowing it to take up residence in your home and your mind. But here's the liberating truth. You have the power to change this. You can remove these demon-attracting items from your home, not by physically discarding them, but by changing your relationship to them, by altering your perception, by refusing to give them power over your emotional state. You can transform these objects from harbingers of negativity into new neutral or even positive influences in your life. Let us consider another common household item that is often associated with negative energy: clocks that no longer work. Many people believe that a stopped clock brings stagnation into their lives, that it somehow freezes progress and growth. But I ask you, is it the clock that has stopped, or is it your own sense of forward momentum? The stopped clock becomes a demon attractor only when you allow it to remind you of wasted time, of opportunities lost, of dreams unfulfilled. But what if instead you chose to see that stopped clock as a reminder that time is an illusion, that the eternal now is all that truly exists? What if you used it as a symbol of your power to step outside the relentless march of minutes and hours to access the timeless realm of pure potential? You see, the power to transform these demon-attracting items lies entirely within you. It is your consciousness, your imagination, that gives them their significance. And just as easily as you can imbue an object with negative associations, you can infuse it with positive, uplifting energy. Now let us turn our attention to another category of items that are often said to attract negative energies: sharp objects. Knives, scissors, needles. These are tools that many believe should not be left out in the open, lest they cut the positive flow of energy in a home. But again, I urge you to look beyond the physical nature of these objects and consider the beliefs you hold about them. A knife, in its essence, is a tool of transformation. It has the power to divide, yes, but also to create. In the hands of a skilled chef, a knife becomes an instrument of culinary artistry. In the hands of a surgeon, it becomes a tool of healing. The knife itself is neutral. It is our perception and use of it that determines its impact on our lives. If you see a knife and feel fear, if you associate it only with violence or harm, then indeed it may become a conduit for negative energy in your home. But what if you chose to see that knife as a symbol of your own power to cut through illusions, to slice away the unnecessary, to carve out a life of beauty and purpose? In doing so, you transform it from a demon attractor into a talisman of personal power and positive change. The same principle applies to all sharp objects in your home. Scissors can be seen as tools of division, or they can represent your ability to cut ties with limiting beliefs and relationships that no longer serve you. Needles can be viewed as instruments of pain, or they can symbolize your power to mend, to create, to weave the fabric of your desired reality. It is not the objects themselves that need to be removed from your home. It is the negative associations, the limiting beliefs, the fearful expectations that must be cast out. And this process of removal happens not in the physical world, but in the realm of your imagination. Now let us address another category of items often believed to attract negative energies: mirrors. We've already touched upon the superstition surrounding broken mirrors, but even intact mirrors are sometimes viewed with suspicion. Some believe that mirrors can act as portals, allowing negative entities to enter our homes. Others warn against sleeping with a mirror facing the bed, claiming it can disturb our rest and drain our energy. But I say to you, a mirror is nothing more than a reflective surface. It has no power to invite or repel any form of energy, negative or positive. The only thing a mirror can reflect is what already exists, and that includes the contents of your own mind. If you look into a mirror and see something frightening, if you feel a sense of unease or dread, it is not because the mirror is a portal for demons. It is because you are confronting aspects of yourself that you have not yet fully accepted or integrated. The demons you perceive are nothing more than fragmented parts of your own psyche, crying out for acknowledgement and healing. Instead of removing mirrors from your home, I encourage you to use them as tools for self-reflection and growth. When you gaze into a mirror, do so with the intention of seeing your divine self, the perfect whole and complete being that you truly are. Use the mirror as a reminder of your own creative power, of your ability to shape your reality through the power of your imagination. If you find yourself troubled by your reflection, if you see imperfections or flaws that disturb you, remember that you have the power to change what you see, not by altering your physical appearance, but by shifting your perception, by choosing to see yourself through the eyes of love and acceptance. The mirror, like every other object in your home, is a blank canvas upon which you project your belief states and expectations. Choose to make it a reflection of your highest self, a reminder of your inherent divinity, and it will become a source of positive energy and inspiration in your life. Let us now turn our attention to another category of items often associated with negative energy: inherited objects or antiques. Many people believe that old items, especially those passed down through generations, can carry the energetic imprints of their previous owners. They fear that these objects might bring outdated patterns, unresolved conflicts, or even the demons of their ancestors into their homes. But I say to you, an object has no power to carry or transmit energy unless you believe it does. An antique chair is just a chair. A family heirloom is just an object, until you assign it meaning through your imagination. The power lies not in the item itself, but in the story you tell yourself about it. If you receive an inherited item and immediately associate it with family trauma or generational struggles, then indeed it may become a conduit for those negative patterns in your life. But what if you chose to see that same item as a symbol of your family's resilience, as a testament to the strength and endurance of those who came before you? What if you used it as a reminder of your power to break negative cycles, to heal ancestral wounds, to create a new legacy for future generations? The choice is yours. You can remove these items from your home if they truly bring you discomfort. But I suggest a different approach. Instead of discarding these links to your past, Why not use them as anchors for a new narrative? Imagine infusing them with your highest aspirations, your most positive intentions for yourself and your lineage. In doing so, you transform them from potential demon attractors into powerful talismans of generational healing and positive transformation. Let us address a category of items that many consider to be protective against negative energies, but which can, paradoxically, become attractors of the very things they're meant to repel: religious or spiritual objects. Crucifixes, statues of deities, sacred texts, crystals, these are all items that people often use with the intention of warding off demons or negative energies. But here's a truth that may challenge your current beliefs. These objects, in and of themselves, have no inherent protective power. A crucifix is just two intersecting lines until you imbue it with meaning. A crystal is just a pretty rock until you assign it spiritual significance. A statue is just shaped stone or metal until you decide it represents a divine being. The power of these objects lies not in their physical form, but in your belief in them. And herein lies the potential. If you believe you need objects to protect you from negative energies, you are in essence affirming the reality and power of those negative forces. You are saying to the universe, I am vulnerable, I am at risk. I need protection from these demons that I believe exist and have power over me. In doing so, you may inadvertently be attracting the very energies you're trying to repel. Not because the objects themselves are demon attractors, but because your belief in the need for protection stems from a place of fear, of lack of vulnerability. And what we fear, what we constantly guard against, has a way of manifesting in our experience. Instead of relying on external objects for protection, I urge you to recognize the divine power that resides within you. You are not a vulnerable being in need of protection from external forces. You are a creator, a divine being made in the image and likeness of God. The only demons that can affect you are those that you give power to through your own imagination and belief. If you choose to keep religious or spiritual objects in your home, do so not out of fear or a need for protection, but as reminders of your own divinity. Let a crucifix remind you of the power of love and forgiveness. Let a crystal remind you of the beauty and perfection inherent in all of creation. Let a statue of a deity remind you of the God-like qualities that reside within you. By shifting your perspective in this way, you transform these objects from crutches that support a belief in your own vulnerability into powerful symbols of your inherent divinity and creative power. You remove their status as potential demon attractors and turn them into beacons of positive, life-affirming energy in your home. Now let us delve into a category of items that many consider to be particularly potent attractors of negative energy. Objects associated with the occult or magical practices. Ouija boards, tarot cards, spell books. These are items that often inspire fear and unease, even in those who don't believe in their efficacy. But I say to you, there is no inherent power in these objects. A Ouija board is just a piece of wood with letters and numbers printed on it. Tarot cards are just pieces of paper with images. Spell books are just collections of words. They have no more power to attract demons or negative energies than a children's board game or a deck of playing cards. The power that people attribute to these items comes entirely from their own beliefs and expectations. If you believe that a Ouija board can open a portal to a dark realm, if you approach it with fear and trepidation, then you are creating the very conditions for a negative experience. You are in essence scripting a horror movie in your mind and then projecting it onto a harmless object. But what if you chose to see these items differently? What if, instead of fearing them, you recognize them as tools for introspection and self-discovery? A Ouija board could be seen as a means of accessing your own subconscious mind, of bringing hidden thoughts and feelings to the surface. Tarot cards could be viewed as prompts for self-reflection, as mirrors that reflect different aspects of your psyche. Spell books could be understood as collections of affirmations and visualizations, tools for focusing your intention and directing your creative energy. The key is to remember that these objects have no power other than what you give them. They cannot invite demons into your home because demons as separate entities with power over you do not exist. The only demons are the fears, doubts, and limiting beliefs that you allow to take root in your own mind. If you truly feel uncomfortable with these items in your home, by all means, remove them. But understand that in doing so, you are not banishing external negative forces. You are making a choice about what you want to focus on, about the kind of energy you want to cultivate in your living space. And that choice, that power lies entirely within you. Now let us turn our attention to a category of items that might seem mundane, but which can have a profound impact on the energy of your home. Clutter. Piles of old magazines, stacks of unopened mail, closets stuffed with clothes you never wear. These accumulations of unnecessary stuff are often cited as attractors of negative energy. But again, I urge you to look beyond the physical reality of these items and consider what they represent in your consciousness. Clutter is not inherently negative. It does not attract demons or bad luck. What it does do, however, is reflect a state of mind, a pattern of thought and behavior that may not be serving your highest good. When you allow clutter to accumulate in your home, you are, in essence, declaring to the universe that you are willing to hold on to things that no longer serve you. You are saying that you are not ready or willing to make space for new experiences, new opportunities, new growth. You are clinging to the past, to old patterns and habits, rather than embracing the possibility of change and renewal. In this sense, clutter can indeed become a demon attractor, not because it invites external negative forces into your home, but because it reinforces internal patterns of stagnation and resistance change. The demons it attracts are the familiar but limiting beliefs and behaviors that keep you stuck in old patterns, preventing you from fully stepping into your power as a creative being. But here's the liberating truth: you have the power to change this. You can remove the demon attracting influence of clutter not just by physically cleaning your space, but by shifting your mindset about your possessions and your relationship to the material world. When you choose to declutter your home, do so with the understanding that you are not just tidying up your physical space. You are making a powerful declaration to the universe. You are saying, I am ready to release what no longer serves me. I am making space for new blessings, new opportunities, new growth in my life. As you sort through your possessions, do so with mindfulness and intention. Ask yourself, does this item reflect who I am now, or who I was in the past? Does it support my highest vision for my life, or is it holding me back in some way? Be willing to let go of things that no longer align with your current self, your current goals and aspirations. Remember, the act of decluttering is not about achieving some external standard of tidiness. It's about creating a living space that reflects and supports your inner state of being. It's about aligning your physical environment with your highest intentions for your life. As you create more space in your home, imagine that you are also creating space in your mind for new ideas, new possibilities, new manifestations of your desires. See the open spaces in your home as symbolic of the open, receptive state of your consciousness, ready to receive all the good that the universe has to offer. In this way, you transform the act of decluttering from a mundane chore into a powerful spiritual practice. You remove the demon attracting influence of clutter not by fighting against negative energy, but by actively cultivating a state of openness, receptivity, and alignment with your highest self. Now let us address another category of items that are often associated with negative energy: electronic devices. In our modern world, We are surrounded by smartphones, computers, televisions, and other gadgets. While these devices are undeniably useful, many people believe that they can disrupt the natural energy flow in a home, leading to stress, insomnia, and other issues. But I say to you, these devices, like everything else we've discussed, have no inherent power to attract negative energy or demons. They are simply tools, neither good nor bad in themselves. It is our relationship to them, our patterns of use and the meaning we assign to them that determines their impact on our lives and our homes. If you find yourself constantly stressed, anxious, or unable to relax in your home, it's easy to blame the electronic devices that surround you. But I urge you to look deeper. The issue is not with the devices themselves, but with the way you are choosing to interact with them. When you compulsively check your smartphone, when you allow the constant stream of news and social media to occupy your mind, when you use television as an escape from your thoughts and feelings, you are in essence inviting a state of distraction and disconnection into your life. You are allowing these devices to dictate your thoughts, emotions, and energy. In this sense, they can indeed become demon attractors, not because they emit some mysterious negative force, but because they can reinforce patterns of behavior that separate you from your true self, from your inner peace and power. But the solution is not to remove all electronic devices from your home. Instead, I encourage you to change your relationship with these tools. Use them consciously with intention. Set boundaries around their use. Create spaces in your home that are free from electronic devices where you can connect with yourself, with loved ones, with the natural rhythms of life. When you do use your devices, do so with awareness. Before you pick up your smartphone or turn on your computer, pause for a moment. Set an intention for how you want to use this tool. Ask yourself, is this supporting my highest good? Is this aligning me with my true desires and aspirations? By bringing consciousness to your use of technology, you transform these potential demon attractors into tools for growth, connection, and positive change. Remember, the power lies not in the objects themselves, but in your consciousness, in your imagination. Every item in your home, from the grandest piece of furniture to the smallest trinket, from the most advanced electronic device to the simplest household tool, is a blank slate upon which you project your beliefs, your expectations, your state of being. There are no demon-attracting items. There are only the demons of your own limiting beliefs, fears, and negative expectations. The true work of removing these demon-attracting influences from your home is not a physical process of discarding objects. It is an internal process of transforming your consciousness. It is about choosing moment by moment to align yourself with your highest vision of who you are and what you want to create in your life. It is about recognizing your power as a divine being, as a creator made in the image and likeness of God. As you move through your home, as you interact with the objects in your environment, do so with this awareness. See each item as a reflection of your own consciousness, as an opportunity to reinforce your highest truths. Choose to imbue your space with love, with joy, with peace. For in doing so, you are not just changing the energy of your home, you are changing the very fabric of your reality. You are declaring to the universe, I am the master of my world. I choose what influences me. I create my own experience. And in that declaration lies the true power to banish all demons, to create a home and a life filled with light, love, and limitless possibility.